Hi guys, I definitely want to show you how the Shrinky Dinks works because it's really fun, and you actually get to do embellishments, and in my case I'm gonna have fun with doing gears and keys and things like that. So here's the Shrinky Dink package. I show you in my previous video a little bit about it. It was kind of an introduction, but in this video I really want to show you how it works because it's really cool and it's really interesting. You can find this at Michael's. I did find it on my Michael's where I live. You probably can find this online too. I don't know, I mean specifically which website. I don't even think this people has a website here. Let me check. Maybe they do. It says here, oh yes, they actually do have a website. It's called www.shrnkydinks.com, and you can go there and probably buy their products. I haven't been there, but just to let you know. So being said that, this is the package for the clear plastic. They have different types of plastic. They have one that it's a little bit opaque, and I think they do have to print on inkjet printers. So depending on what you're going to do, you know, that's the type of plastic or clear sheets you're going to get. Okay, so next, what you need, you're going to need different things. You're going to need, obviously, your embellishments, whatever you're doing. And I'm going to show in this tutorial or video or how-to video on how to do with gears like this, keys like this, small keys like this, and also I've seen how they do with stamps. Like you can stamp one of these, like the stamp block. I haven't opened this yet. This stamp, and you stamp this on the paper, and then you can get an embellishment of the stamp you're using. So we're gonna do both, so you have an idea more or less of what are we doing. And then you're definitely gonna need scissors. You're gonna need an X-Acto knife. Mine is not like the biggest thing because I don't have, I think I have another one, but I don't know where it is, which is much better than that one. And this one doesn't work really well. And a Sharpie. And you're gonna probably need, this is a hole puncher, but this one is like really small hole puncher, but depending on what you got, you know, you use that. You're also gonna need a heat gun, excuse me, embossing powder, embossing stamp pad, and if we're gonna use obviously the stamps, we're gonna use a black stamp, also stamp pad, okay, and whatever stamp you want to use. In addition to that, you might want to use some of wax paper and tape, okay. Those are additional things you might want to use. That's what I'm going to use for me to show you how to do this. Okay, so first things first, okay. I'm going to prepare this little wax paper right here, so I have a work area, because this is going to get sticky, it's going to get dirty, it's going to get really crazy, and maybe you don't want to ruin your table or whatever surface you're working on. Right now I'm working on a chipboard, cardboard page, Nothing fancy. Just not to mess up the table top. So all I'm doing right now is just putting some masking tape or tape to the waxing paper, so this area will be for the heat and for all the mess that is gonna cause this little thing. So that's ready. So the next step will be, you're gonna trace you're gonna get a piece of that plastic, and you're gonna trace whatever piece you want to trace. In this example, I'm gonna trace this one over here, so I'm gonna get my Sharpie, okay, and I'm just gonna trace this little piece right here. You don't have to be perfect, just, you know, trace whatever is comfortable for you to trace, and just, you know, go with the flow, because afterwards you're gonna cut the shape, and that's all you're gonna do basically with your X-Acto or your scissors. So I'm gonna do this little hole here so I know it's there. So now that I trace my plastic paper, we are gonna just cut that, okay? Like I said, you can cut it with scissors, which is what I do. I mentioned in my other video that if you have a 6/6 Cuttlebug or some machine like that that cuts dies, that's gonna, you know, keep you the trouble of cutting by hand every little piece that you're gonna cut, and it will save a lot of time, okay? So maybe that will be a good route if you have one of those machines. I don't have one of those machines, so I'm gonna go with the trouble of just making my little cut piece. I don't know if you can see that. I already cut it. So I just show you how to cut that, which is really easy. But I have a bunch of other pieces that are already pre-cut, like gears. I had a wash, you know, like a wash heart, which I guess I can color around afterwards. I do the whole thing. You can also use, like I said, keys. I have very small keys, which are these ones over here. I already cut them, pre-cut them, so that we don't have to spend so much time cutting all these things. And also, if you want to, you know, experiment with washers, I also did that example here too. Want to experiment with that, that's good too. So I'm gonna put them aside, and I'm gonna show you how this works with a gear. So I'm gonna pick up my pre-cut figure, and we're just gonna go ahead and work with it. I'm gonna get a paper, or if you have a tray for your embossing powder, that's good too. But this one is a coffee filter. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use my emboss stamp pad, okay, and then I'm gonna just kind of damp that little piece in your. The other tool that I forgot to tell you guys to use, if you have one of these, just, you know, they're very handy. Okay, so if you want to use that tool, that's fine. Don't press too hard, because then this material tends to break a little bit if you kind of manipulate it the wrong way. So just, you know, be careful with it and gentle. So this one is done. Okay, gonna put this over here. I'm gonna put my embossed stamp pad aside, and then I'm just gonna use my embossing powder, which is this one. In this particular case is from Recollections, and this is like a copperish color, which is really nice. You can use whatever color you want, doesn't matter. My preference will be metal finish, because these are gears and keys and things like that. So silver or copper or gold will be my preference. So if you're gonna do, you know, the type of things I'm doing, then it will be nice if you use those colors. So I'm just gonna go one side, and then I'm gonna turn it around and try to put more of that powder in the other side. Like I said, gentle. Be very gentle with it, because then look what happens. I'm taking the powder out of it, but it doesn't really matter, because what happens is that the powder is gonna melt, and it's gonna, you know, it's gonna run all over the place in the plastic area. So now with your heat tool, I'm gonna do some noise probably. So with your heat gun, you're just gonna go hold it with whatever tool you have, so it doesn't be blown away by the air. So here we go. Watch this, guys. You're gonna love this. I'm gonna zoom it a little bit more so you guys have a better view of what's gonna happen. Okay, so here we go. So as you see, the plastic kind of went messed up, like really messed up, and you're gonna think, oh my god. No, you let the paper do the work and the heat do the work, and you're gonna end up having a perfect flat little thing that is gonna be going back to the original shape. So, you know, from this we went to that small little thing. Now when you finish eating though, a warning that I'm going to tell you right now, be careful. This thing is very hot right now at this moment, so you might just don't want to touch it with your fingers. It's going to be a little bit sticky because the embossing powder has done the effect of just being sticky and this and that. I should have removed it while I was so it took a little bit, I don't know if you can see that, but it took a little bit of the embossing on the back. So it doesn't matter, because I can't retouch this by painting it with acrylics. So for me it's not a big deal. Now it's cold. Be very careful though when let it cool down for a little bit so you don't burn your hands or your fingers, okay? So this is the effect. I think this is pretty cool. So let's try something else. Let's try the little key. This one is very interesting to watch. So don't be scared. Sometimes it's kind of blown by the air, but let the paper do its, you know, the work. because you see, once it's completely heated, it will go back to its natural form, which in this case is this one. Isn't that cool? I love this. I love this. I love this. Okay. Now it's not that hot. It's okay. So now that I show you several of how to do this little things, let's try a key, a small little key, like the ones I show you. There, I want to do the keys too because they're so little, and I want to show you that you can accomplish that with a very small piece. So let's try that out. Okay, now that I set up again my surface because it was a little bit messy, I wanted to show you that you can do the same thing with a stamp. So the first thing is to get your paper, your plastic paper, and then you're going to use whatever stamp pad you have, preferably in black, so you can see the figure very well. The more detail, the better. So I'm gonna just grab one of my stamps. Let's try I have this one which is really cool, which is the hot air balloon. Let's just try it with that. I've seen this done. I haven't done it, but I'm going to do it here live with you so we both can appreciate the fun of this. So you make sure you stamp very well, your stamp in the ink. And then you're going to stamp that plastic paper with your stamp. Press it. Okay. And let go, and there's your stamp. I'm going to put everything aside. We're just going to cut probably around it a little bit so it has a shape of a balloon. You can cut your paper in whatever shape you like. I am just going to cut it like a little bit around the balloon so it has a shape. Always make sure to leave like a little border around it, because remember, this is going to shrink. So just try to make it nice like that. Okay, so once you've done that, you put your paper on the side, and you're going to grab your heat gun and work with it. So actually this is pretty cool. As you can see, I had a little bit of that embossing in the tool, and it transferred to this one over here. But I think it's really neat because actually you can make embellishments. It's a little bit hot still. Let's just wait until it cools down a little bit so I can just do a little bit of a close-up. So there, guys, look at that. A small mini air balloon pendant. Wow, this is really, really cool. Can you see that? So actually this could be great as an embellishment for, like, well, in anything, in any card project you're doing. But in my case specifically, which I'm doing my tags, this will work great with my tags. For example, this one has the balloon, and I can just put a little balloon here. See? Like hanging from there. I think it's fantastic. It's awesome. Well, guys, I hope you liked this video, and I hope you liked the project. I mean, this is really, really fun. And go out there and get some of that Shrinky Dink paper and have fun with it, because I'm having tons of fun. And when you finish doing most of it, if you want to have like a little container to keep them, that's fine too. That's what I'm trying to do, because I'm going to start doing a lot of them, so I don't have to do it every time I want to do something. You know, I have to do this process because it takes time. So all you do is put them in the container, and you have a bunch of nice and cute and fun embellishments. So if you like this tutorial, please rate, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.